Hello and welcome to ManHack. Before we begin hacking, let's first understand what OWASP Top 10 actually is. OWASP stands for Open Web Application Security Project, publishes a list of top 10 most critical web application security risks based on real world data from thousands of applications. This list is used by security teams, developers, bug bounty hunters, and even compliance standards across the world. If you understand OWASP Top 10, you understand how most real world web apps get hacked. In this 10 video series, we will be breaking down each vulnerability with theory and real labs, starting with the number one risk, that is broken access control. So each video in this series will cover what the vulnerability is, how attackers exploit it, a live or guided lab on the particular vulnerability, and finally, how developers should fix it. So make sure you practice along. Broken access control has been ranked number one because it's involved in more breaches than any other vulnerability. The scary part? You don't need advanced hacking skills. Sometimes just changing a number in the URL is enough. Access control is about who can do what in an application. Broken access control happens when an application fails to properly restrict actions or data based on the user's role or identity. So here are some common examples. Viewing another user's data by changing an ID, accessing admin page as a normal user, performing actions like delete or update without permissions, APIs that trust user input without any verification. So here we can see an example wherein a user has the user ID of 200 and he might try to modify it on his own and he might put in some other ID, say 205. And if he is able to access the page, then it results in a broken access control. So the impact of broken access control, it can lead to account takeovers, data leaks, privilege escalation, full system compromise. That is why it's one of the highest paid bug bounty categories. Now let's go on to a lab setup wherein we'll look at the uh, live example of broken access control. So I have taken a TryHackMe room and this is one of the vulnerable machines over there. First, we just create an account. And side by side, let's just get our pub sheet so that we can proxy the traffic so that we don't have to keep on repeating things. Yeah, so we'll be creating an account first. Yeah, so account creation successful. Then we are getting the traffic here. So now let's just log into the identity account. Yeah. So in this, uh, okay, so this was the first request that we made, and this was the second request that followed through. So we can see that we are trying to submit the username, password, and there's some function parameter also that the web page is adding. But we can observe that there are two parameters that it is giving back. That is, one is admin is false, that the server is replying, and this is more interesting. So you can see something called dashboard, and then is admin equal to false. So yeah, we'll just copy this thing. So when we go here, we can see that there is something called dashboard.php. Let's just try to like put this value in now. Let's just try this. Okay, false anyways. Let's just go with yeah. So see, we like got into the admin page. So it just went to admin.php. So as soon as we pass that parameter, we could able to like exploit this. So this was a kind of what privilege escalation you can say because I was a normal user and I just changed one parameter and I got into that. So let's just submit this. I think it's just like validate the flag. Okay. I think there is some issue with tracking. It's okay. We'll like submit later on. Okay, so let's see one more example to understand this a bit more easily. So I got an example where we have some IDs. Oh, my workshoot is intercepting things, so that's why it broke things. Okay. Mhm. So yeah, let's just let view this here. So over here, it's like a more simpler example where you can understand what is happening. So they have clearly like mentioned you can like try to change the ID. So it's given that try to change something like 7 or 6. Let's just try with 6 first. Yeah, so we are Jessica Martinez. We were 5 at first, so 5 was David. We came to 6. Let's try 7. Yeah. So yeah, this is a type of horizontal privilege escalation. So let's just like mark that horizontal. Yes. Horizontal is where like a 6, 5 is a normal user. Even 6 is a normal user, but you're able to see the information of other users. So that is a vulnerability because we can see the personal data of some other person. And okay, who has made more than 1 million? That was 7, right? So he had made 1 million. And so let's get back into how we can prevent this now. So we understood how it works. So how to defend it? From a defensive perspective, broken access control can be prevented by number one, enforcing server-side authorization checks. For example, adding proper cookies to validate the sessions so that an unauthorized user is not allowed to access a different thing. Never trusting user-supplied IDs. So the user-supplied IDs must not be trusted. We could also use RBAC or role-based access controls, denying access by default, and logging and monitoring violations. Just one more tip I would like to give. So, if you're trying to go for bug bounties, do try to look out for IDOS because they usually expose the sensitive information, as you could see here. So, this is sensitive information because knowing somebody else's bank balance or maybe who knows, you might get his address itself. So, that is a really critical data. So, it is a very high severity bug. And that was your OWASP A01 broken access control. And in the next video, we'll cover security misconfiguration, which is one of the most common yet overlooked web vulnerabilities that is ranked number 2 by OWASP. We'll see how default settings, exposed admin panels, and bad configurations can lead to real-world breaches. If it's left open or misconfigured, attackers will surely find it. Subscribe to the channel so that you stay notified for the next videos. And as always, hack, learn, and secure.